Start with a clear stance. The speaker firmly believes that 13 is simply too young for dating. They share their conviction that teenagers at this age don't really understand what love is. Instead, early relationships are often more about curiosity and fitting in than genuine connection. The speaker reflects on their own family's quirky perspective, treating dating as a learning experience rather than something to be encouraged. This sets the tone for the rest of the story, highlighting the difference between youthful infatuation and mature love. As we move forward, keep in mind how these early experiences shape our understanding of relationships. Speaker takes us back to their first relationship with Mitchell, painting a vivid picture of what middle school dating really looked like. Instead of romantic dates, most of their time together was spent playing video games or just hanging out in groups. There was a sense of awkwardness and uncertainty, with both parties unsure of how to express their feelings. The speaker remembers feeling disappointed when Mitchell's priorities didn't align with theirs, a common theme in young relationships. This story sets the stage for understanding how early dating can be more about learning social cues than building real connections. As the relationship with Mitchell progressed, the speaker began to notice a growing sense of disappointment. Mitchell often seemed more interested in his own hobbies than spending quality time together. This left the speaker feeling undervalued and questioning the purpose of their relationship. Such experiences are common in early dating, where expectations and reality rarely align. The speaker's honest reflection on these moments helps us see how young love can be filled with misunderstandings and unmet needs, paving the way for emotional growth later on. Eventually, the inevitable happened. Mitchell initiated a breakup. The speaker describes the confusion that came with mixed signals from both sides. There were moments of hope followed by disappointment as neither truly understood what they wanted. This period was marked by uncertainty and emotional turmoil, hallmark of many young relationships. The speaker's willingness to share these vulnerable moments reminds us that breakups, even at a young age, can feel deeply impactful and confusing. After the breakup, the speaker experienced the familiar pain of heartbreak. They talk about how normal it is to feel lost and sad after a relationship ends, especially when you're young and inexperienced. The speaker emphasizes the importance of self-reflection during this time, encouraging others to take a step back and allow themselves to heal. This process, though difficult, is essential for emotional growth and learning how to cope with future challenges in relationships. One of the most confusing parts of young love is dealing with mixed signals. The speaker recalls how both they and Mitchell sent unclear messages, leading to misunderstandings and false hope. This lack of clear communication is a common issue in early relationships where emotional maturity is still developing. By sharing the experience, the speaker highlights the importance of honest and open communication, a lesson that often comes only after making mistakes. The aftermath of the breakup, the speaker took time to reflect on what went wrong. They realized that rushing into another relationship wouldn't solve their feelings of loneliness or sadness. Instead, they focused on understanding themselves better and learning from their mistakes. This period of self-reflection was crucial for personal growth, teaching the speaker valuable lessons about love, loss, and resilience. For months after the breakup, there was complete silence between the speaker and Mitchell. This quiet period allowed both to process their emotions and move forward independently. The speaker describes how this time apart was necessary for healing, even though it sometimes felt lonely. It's a reminder that space and distance can be just as important as communication when it comes to recovering from heartbreak. Out of the blue, the speaker receives a message from Mitchell after months of no contact. This unexpected reconnection stirs up old feelings and memories, making the speaker question whether they should give the relationship another chance. The innocence and hopefulness of youth often lead us to believe in second chances, even when it might not be the best idea. The speaker's story captures the emotional roller coaster that comes with rekindling old flames. Speaker admits to romanticizing their past relationship with Mitchell, imagining that things could be different if they tried again. This is a common trap for many young people, who often look back on old relationships with rose-colored glasses. The speaker warns against falling into this pattern, reminding us that it's easy to forget the reasons things ended in the first place. Learning to see the past clearly is an important step in moving forward. Youthful innocence often leads us to make decisions based on hope rather than reality. The speaker reflects on how their younger self believed that rekindling the relationship with Mitchell could work, despite all the evidence to the contrary. This naivety is a natural part of growing up, but it can also lead to repeated mistakes. The speaker's honesty about their own experiences encourages others to be more mindful and realistic in their approach to relationships. Every heartbreak, no matter how painful, offers an opportunity to learn and grow. The speaker shares how their experience with Mitchell taught them valuable lessons about themselves and what they want in a relationship. They emphasize that it's okay to feel sad and to take time to heal, but it's also important to use those experiences as stepping stones for future happiness. Speaker points out that many early relationships are superficial, driven more by curiosity and social pressure than genuine affection. They recall how their own relationship with Mitchell lacked depth, with both parties unsure of what they really wanted. This realization helped the speaker understand the difference between infatuation and true love, a lesson that would guide their future relationships. This communication played a major role in the ups and downs of the speaker's relationship with Mitchell. They discuss how unclear messages and assumptions led to unnecessary conflict and confusion. The speaker stresses the importance of honest communication, a skill that takes time and experience to develop. By recognizing these patterns, they were able to avoid similar mistakes in the future. Going through heartbreak and disappointment isn't easy, but it's often necessary for emotional growth. The speaker reflects on how their experiences with Mitchell helped them become more resilient and self-aware. They encourage others to see pain as a teacher, guiding them towards healthier and more fulfilling relationships in the future. Looking back, the speaker laughs at the absurd reasons their young relationship ended. From petty arguments to misunderstandings, it's clear that many breakups at this age are more about learning than losing. The speaker's lighthearted approach reminds us not to take these early experiences too seriously, but to appreciate them for the lessons they provide. Speaker shares their family's unique take on early dating, viewing it as a quirky rite of passage rather than a serious commitment. This perspective helped the speaker approach relationships with a sense of humor and curiosity, rather than pressure or fear. It's a reminder that family values and support can play a big role in shaping our attitudes towards love and dating. Eventually, the speaker realized the importance of moving on and letting go of the past. They talk about how holding on to old relationships can prevent us from finding happiness in the present. By accepting what happened and focusing on the future, the speaker was able to open themselves up to new possibilities and healthier relationships. Reflecting on their journey, the speaker shares the key lessons they learned from their early dating experiences. They emphasize the importance of self-respect, honest communication, and emotional resilience. These lessons, though learned the hard way, have helped shape the speaker into a more confident and self-aware individual. As the story comes to a close, the speaker reiterates their belief that early dating is more about learning than loving. They encourage others to view their own experiences with humor and gratitude, knowing that every heartbreak brings them closer to understanding themselves. The speaker thanks their audience for listening and hopes their story inspires others to reflect on their own journeys. In the end, the speaker reminds us that every relationship, no matter how short or awkward, adds value to our lives. These early experiences teach us about love, loss, and personal growth. By embracing the lessons learned, we become better equipped to handle future relationships with maturity and confidence. The journey may be filled with ups and downs, but it's all part of growing up.